We only stayed in Split, Croatia for 3 nights, so I wasn't planning on making a video about how it is to be a strict carnivore in Split, Croatia. But even in that short time, I found stuff to tell you. Well, Split, Croatia is super touristic, way too touristic for me. But so there's no problem being carnivore there. There are many restaurants, good restaurants, and you can just order a piece of meat from the grill. But don't get confused, there is stuff that gets lost in translation. Like, for example, yes, sorry, they are drilling back there. So anyways, once I saw on the menu, veal rack, and rack, R-A-K. Never seen that before, but well, I assumed rack, R-A-C-K. In the US, usually a rack means ribs. So I got super excited, veal rack, hell yeah. I actually are never able to eat ribs at the restaurant, not in the US for sure, because they're always marinated. So I never ever get clean ribs in a restaurant. I'm so sad. So I asked the waiter, are they marinated? And he said, no, they are not marinated, nothing. And I got so excited. So of course I was like, yes, I want the veal rack, whatever it is. So I expected veal ribs. So then the waiter asked me how well done I wanted it. And I got a bit confused because with ribs, you never get asked how well done you want them because they're usually marinated, slow cooked, and they're totally well done. But I ordered mine rare, and I was thinking, oh, it's probably like a lamb rack. So like lamb racks is like the chops, you know, the lamb chops, but still attached to each other. So I was like, okay, it's probably like chops still attached to each other. So like instead of a lamb rack, a veal rack. And yeah, so I ordered mine rare. I got just 2 veal chops. Nothing rack or ribs. Well, yeah, on the chop you have that bone, but these are just veal chops. That's how they're called. It's a chop, but it's not bad at all. They were absolutely delicious, except honestly on one side I found some little green pieces, probably some herbs contaminated from another dish. It's okay, I just took them away. But one side of one of the chops also tasted a little bit like garlic, and I just don't like it. I don't get sick from it when it's contaminated just a little bit, but I just don't like the taste anymore. I've been carnivore for almost 5 years now, and I don't like spices or non-carnivorous sauces, pastes and stuff. Not anymore. I just don't like it. I don't like the taste. But it was really just on one chop, just one part there, and the other one was totally clean and totally absolutely delicious. Of course, I took the bones with me, like always, and ate them a bit later. The best meat is on the bone, and gnawing meat from the bone is something I just absolutely love to do. Another false translation story. Before we left Split, Croatia, we ate lunch at the trattoria, and Paul ordered veal cutlet. He got a veal T-bone steak. So a cutlet in the United States, veal cutlets or whatever cutlet, is a really thin piece of meat, like a thin slice. Yeah, and usually it gets breaded, no bones. And yeah, he just got a veal T-bone steak, what is much more tasty than a cutlet anyways. But yeah, here another wrong, false translation. And I ordered lamb, and I think it even said lamb chops. I got 4 lamb chops, and this time they were completely clean and super delicious. But this time we didn't get asked how we want them done. So I'm super glad I got the lamb, because Paul got the veal, and both came just totally well done. And veal, totally well done, I'm not a fan at all. Veal is very lean. And the leaner the meat, the better it is still rare, so rarer or even raw, not completely done. And so I'm super glad I got the veal the previous day when I ordered it rare, and I got it rare, so that was delicious. But Paul liked his food, he liked it totally well done, so that was good. And for me, the lamb chops, they also came totally well done. What was totally fine with me, lamb chops, I like totally well done. I also like them rare or whatever. But lamb in general, like a leg of lamb, I love slow cooked when it's falling off the bone. So I actually prefer the lamb when it's totally well done, because it just gets tastier. It's not so tough anymore. Except for the lamb chops, as I said, I also like when it's not totally well done. But I like them just as much totally well done. And it was actually perfect that I got them totally well done, because then it's much easier to gnaw off all the meat from the bones. Because at home, usually when I make meat on the bone, whatever meat it is, I usually still leave it raw in the middle. Like super example, ribeye, bone in ribeye, I still leave raw in the middle, but very well seared on the outside. Then I eat it, but then the bone and the rest meat that is on the bone, I put back in the oven or in the pan, or just cook it much longer or roast it much longer, and then I can gnaw off the rest of the meat. But yeah, we were in Split just for 3 nights, and it was actually when I got that lamb actually right before we left Split, so I couldn't have taken the bones home and then cook it again to get off all the rest of the meat. So anyways, it was perfect that it was well done, so I got all of the meat off the bone, and it was super delicious. At restaurants, I always only order the meat, like just meat, not cooked in oil or butter, no nothing, no spices, not even salt. I always bring my own salt because I never trust their salt. I want my pure salt. Unfortunately, in Serbia and in Montenegro, I couldn't find anywhere salt that doesn't have iodine in it. So in Split, Croatia, one of the first things there I wanted to do is to get clean salt. In the grocery stores, it was the same, only salt with iodine in it. But we found a health food store, and there was lots of salt, like different kinds of salt, special salts, very expensive salts, totally pure. Like for example, they had Flötusel. I know it from Switzerland, it's so super delicious, but it was 18 euros for 600 grams. So no, I didn't buy that because I need a lot of salt. I bought 3 different kinds of salts between 180 and 240 euros a package. I think it had like 600 grams in it, or even 800 grams one, or yeah, something like that. Anyways, French sea salt that got dried on clay, an Italian sea salt from Trapani, Sicily, and I wanted to say a local sea salt from Split, Croatia, but no, it wasn't from Split, it was from Nin, but that's also in Croatia, so maybe semi-local salt, Adriatic sea salt. I'm so super happy. Now I have clean, clear, pure, delicious salt again. I bought 2 kilos and 100 grams. I think that should last us for a while. Unfortunately, I had lots of health problems during the stay in Split, Croatia, especially the bus ride there, here's that video, was really, really horrible for me. But so anyways, when I have health issues, I always go back to my safe food. My safe food is very well done ground beef with salt, and sometimes beef steak with salt. But so in Split, Croatia, we couldn't find anywhere just ground beef. Okay, maybe they were also just out of it, but I looked in a little grocery store, I looked at Spar, we couldn't find any just ground beef, only ground pork mixed with ground beef. 60% ground pork, 40% ground beef. Once at Spar, Paul found 850 grams of that ground pork, ground beef mix on sale for €2.49. 850 grams. That's an absolute steal. Of course, he bought it. Unfortunately, the next day there wasn't anything on sale like that anymore, but I really needed more meat to prepare for myself for the bus ride back to Ulcin, Montenegro. So we paid just a regular price, €8.99 for that pork beef ground mix per kilo. And we also bought a New York steak for €11.69 per kilogram. Definitely more expensive than in Ulcin, Montenegro, Belgrade, Serbia, Fethiye, Turkey, and Reno, Nevada, USA. But as I mentioned, I really needed the meat for my bus ride back to Ulcin. As mentioned, we didn't stay in Split, Croatia for very long, so I didn't get to see much. So I only saw 2 grocery stores, one called Tommy and one called Spar. I saw on Google Maps that there was also a Lidl. I've been to a Lidl in, oh my gosh, I can't remember, was that Fethiye? Or Belgrade? I think Belgrade. Yes, Belgrade. And they had a good assortment of meat, actually. Well, all frozen and stuff, I think. But I'm pretty sure there I would have found ground beef. But the Lidl store was quite far away from where we were staying. So we never were close by that store. So we didn't go. So I have no idea. Compared to Montenegro, they had most of their fresh meats in a package in refrigerators. In Montenegro, most meat was actually not, so the fresh meat was not packaged up. They had like butchers in grocery stores, and then there was all the fresh meat. Oh, here is Carnivore in Montenegro, part 1. I made 2 parts because we stayed so long in Montenegro. We also found lox, totally clean lox, meaning just salmon and salt. And the eggs, I don't remember, but they were reasonably priced. And other stuff I didn't really check because, as mentioned, we weren't there for very long. But as a strict carnivore, you shouldn't have any problems in Split, Croatia. Right now, I'm on this beautiful terrace here that belongs to our Airbnb apartment here in Saranda, Albania. So yes, the next carnivore video will be about carnivore in Albania. So don't forget to subscribe here to not miss that video and other videos about my interesting nomad life, Aline's adventures. Stay happy, stay healthy, eat a lot of meat. Bye.